You're listening to Wild, Hot and Healing, the space where growth gets messy, power gets claimed, and healing gets very real. So if you're ready to own your magic, move through your shit, and create a life that is fire from the inside out, then you are in exactly the right place. It's time to get wild, it's time to get hot, and it's time to heal. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, and welcome back to the Wild and Healing podcast. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I see all the time, and this might be something that you've experienced or something you recognize in yourself, and that is people trying something once and then not following through. And what is that about? We're going to explore that today. We're going to explore why it is that we feel the need that we need to do something once, and why we never follow through, and why we don't keep up with stuff, and how this is the key really to why you may find that you have goals that you want to hit or discipline that you want to have around a certain thing. It might be something like getting up earlier, it might be around your health, it might be around a work schedule, and you just can't stick to it. And I feel like I'm an expert in that field because I have tried, as a multi-passionate, multi-dimensional being, I have tried so many different things and I don't always stick to things, and I recognize it in myself. I recognize that there's many things that I give a go and I don't fully commit to, and that's why I know about this. And this is something I recognize from 12 years of coaching thousands of women at Empower Her Health and Fitness. I recognize the pattern that I see of when people do something once and why they cannot follow through, and why things are set up to failure, and how, as a coach, it's actually really important how we structure our workouts and we structure what we deliver. We structure everything down to our payment plans, our membership, how you join, your onboarding when you join us, everything as a coach. Or when I'm with one-to-one clients, how I bring them in on their first session, how I plan what's going ahead. Everything that I do is done in such a way that it sets the client up to succeed and not to fail. And I'm going to explore that today. I'm going to explain a little bit more about why, as a coach that has been doing this for a long time, I know what is going to make someone fail and what is going to make someone succeed. And that's why I structure everything, like I said, down to the payment plan, down to how you show up, how the first session is, how the last session is, to make sure my clients succeed. And this is going to be really interesting for you if you do think, oh my goodness, I am someone that has done something once and quit it. And, you know, we hear it a lot with ladies trying a gym class or a coach or a meditation or a new habit, and it didn't work. And I'm using my hands for inverted commas here. It didn't work. But here's the truth that no one likes to say out loud. Trying something once will not change your life. Committing to it will. And this isn't just about Empower Her. We actually do not offer free trials, but it is about why so many of us are stuck in a cycle of one-off efforts or short bursts of motivation, and that we're never really getting what we want. So you don't need to try another thing. You just need to choose something that you're going to stick to. And this is really important if this is something that you're wanting to change. So the reason that we don't offer trials at Empower Her, and why I don't believe in offering anyone just one session is going to achieve anything, is because it's just nice and comfortable, that, isn't it? It's nice and safe. It's, oh, okay, I can just go and do one session and then I can back the fuck out. That is not what you need, because if you are the type of person that has been thinking about, for example, joining a gym, taking me on as a coach, and you've been thinking about it for months and months, and I go, okay, do you want to just try a session out? Do you want to just try me out once? When you have got so many nerves that are going through your body, I am literally giving you a get out of jail free card. I'm going, you know what? Come and do one session. Come and give yourself and your nervous system a reason why you do not need to do any more sessions. Because let me tell you, your body, your nervous system will always choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. Your nervous system will always choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. And I'm going to unpack that. What does that mean? So if you are at the moment, say you're living in chaos and your nervous system doesn't feel good, you feel burnt out, you feel stressed out, you know, you're maybe not showing up for yourself as well as you could, perhaps some of your actions are lazy, and you know that there needs to be a change. And let's just use the example, you need to get up earlier. You know that you need to get up half an hour earlier and you like staying asleep. Perhaps you go to bed late and you feel tired in the morning. And the you're saying, oh, if I don't get up earlier, it's affecting everything. It's affecting because I'm not getting to the gym, or I'm not getting to work on time, or I'm rushing in the morning. I'm not having breakfast. There's maybe a pattern of things that are negatively happening because you're choosing to stay in bed later. And you know that. I know that I need to get up earlier. Oh my goodness, if I got up earlier, just so many more things would fall into place. So technically what you're saying is, where I am isn't great, it's not good, this is not good. But your nervous system will choose that. It will choose that over choosing something uncomfortable, which would be getting up half an hour earlier, going to join a gym, getting to work earlier, having to cook breakfast, or something else that you're like, that's what I want to do. That is really genuinely what I want. But your nervous system will always want to pull you back to where you're used to and where you're comfortable, where there isn't anything that's more stressful or different. It will always choose that. And this is especially key when it comes to maybe starting a new fitness regime, going out to run, joining a gym, joining a community, something that's scary for you. Your body, your nervous system is literally going to calibrate you back to where it is you're saying you don't want to be, but it's where you're comfortable because you're so used to it because you've been there for such a long time. Your nervous system will always choose that. So that's the first thing, is remembering that you are naturally coded and built to be pulled back into a place that you're saying you don't want, because your body will always choose a familiar hell over unfamiliar heaven. And when someone says to us or to me, oh, I just need to try it first, I just need to try it once. Like I said, this could be trying a gym class out, could be trying a meditation, it could be you've hurt your back and you're going to try a physio out. What that is just a fear of actually making a change, because nothing in the world changes from trying to do something once. Like, you can do it once and you're not going to achieve anything from doing it once, right? It's about building things up over time. It's like setting up a new Instagram profile, getting really nervous about posting and going, I'll just post once, and then posting once and doing nothing about it because you didn't like it when you posted, you didn't get enough likes or whatever happened. You did it once though. It might take 1,000 times till you actually genuinely feel comfortable doing it, and till you're actually going to reap the benefits and the rewards of being consistent with something. And committing to something can feel scary because it may demand an identity change. It may demand you changing your routine or setting boundaries with someone, perhaps at the moment that you want to change something, and it means that you can't be there for someone else at the same time that they want you to be there. There may be all sorts of different dynamics going on. That can be an identity change, and that can be scary. So basically what happens is you say, I'll try, and your nervous system hears, this probably won't work. Let's just stay where we are. Let's just not do that. And that's why it's easier to just commit to trying something once in your brain, but you're never going to get there by saying to yourself, I'm going to try it once. You don't go to therapy for once and expect healing. Like, you can't book in with a counsellor, book in with a talking therapist, book in to see a psychotherapist, whatever. Do one session and be like, okay, I'm done now. No, hell no. First of all, you need to go to the session. And then second of all, you've got work to do when you get home. Nothing happens just from one thing. You then need to go away and do any practices or journaling or whatever the therapist has given you. You've got to go away and do that work. You've got to recognize your patterns. You've got to observe your life. And then you've got to show up again for another therapy session. And then you've got to go away again and keep working on yourself. And then you've got to show up again. And the other part that is painful in that is you have also got to give money away. You've got to pay for it. All these things are uncomfortable. You'd be like, oh, I'd rather spend that 80 quid on some shoes or something else. I don't really want to spend 80. But that's because your body is always going to calibrate you back to something that feels more familiar. And there'll be all sorts of chatter going around in your mind. You can't do it. You shouldn't be able to do it. But you have to be able to commit in so many different ways, with time, with money, with your patience, with going away and doing the work afterwards, with showing up even when you don't want to show up. That is even just for therapy. And it's the same. You can't go into a gym, lift weight once and expect muscle to grow. Oh my goodness, if only it happened like that, how much easier would life be? It doesn't. It happens over a period of time of being consistent. And the same with going to the gym. You don't just go to the gym, lift the weight, that's it, go home. There's other work to be done. You've got to build up your recovery. You've got to make sure you're getting good sleep. You've got to be drinking plenty of water. You've got to be eating a good diet. You've got to then be showing up to the gym again. You probably don't want to go. You're probably thinking, hell, I would rather sit on the sofa. I do not want to be here. I do not want to go. I feel sore as hell. But you have to go. And then again, you have to go home and you have to prep your meals and you have to eat. There's never just one thing around the change. And the minute that you can get your head around that there is just not, you're not going to do one thing and it's not going to change everything. That there is so many different variables around what you're going to do. So when you go to do something new and you really want to change, you've got to be like, hell, I'm in, because I know that this work is not just in this hour. It's not just in this 45 minutes. It's in what I do after this 45 minutes. In fact, this 45 minutes is just 5% of what I've got to do to get myself where I want to be. And that's the same with if you meditate. You can't meditate once and just expect everything to be okay. You meditate. You've got to commit to sitting down and feeling uncomfortable when you first start meditating, because it will do. It will feel uncomfortable. You will tell yourself you can't do it. Your mind will tell you can't do it. You'll think, what the hell am I doing? Is anyone watching me? Can anyone see me? You'll have all sorts of things running through your mind. And then you finish the meditation and you can't go back to your normal practices, doom scrolling. You can't, whatever you've learned in that meditation, that stillness, you've got to carry it through with you. You've got to find pockets of time in the day where you find stillness, where you're sat in the doctor's surgery, instead of scrolling on your phone, you just sit in silence. Where you're waiting in a lift, you sit in silence. You sit and contemplate, because you're learning about the meditation and you're listening to your soul again. It's not just about those 10 minutes. It's not just going to wave a magic wand and fix everything. It's about how those 10 minutes or 15, 20, 40, whatever it is you've done, the therapy, the meditation, whatever, how those 10 minutes change the next 24 hours. That is the most important thing. Or the next week, or the next month, or the next year, and so on and so forth. You cannot expect to do one gym session, one breath work, one yoga workshop, and to change everything. I'm sorry, but it's just not going to work like that. And this is why I have a bugbear with like free trial culture and what it teaches. It's designed to hook you in with a bit of dopamine and not transformation. Like I've said, you're not going to get transformation from one session or one thing that you do. And it's encouraging people to not show up for themselves. That's what I believe. That's why we do not offer trials, because I'm encouraging you to come and find a reason why you can't do it instead of finding a reason why you can. And this is so important, because let me tell you, your first session will be the worst. Your first session, whatever, if you are joining a gym, you are starting therapy, you are going to an exercise class, you're going on your first run, whatever it is, the meditation, the breath work, the yoga, anything, the first session you do will be the worst. You'll hate it. It's horrible. You'll be uncomfortable. There'll be so many things running through your mind that you've even had to show up and get there that you can't even relax to enjoy the session, and you'll hate it. It's a fact. No matter what it is you'll do, it's not until after it finishes and you can reflect, you'll be like, oh yeah, I feel quite good now. Especially when it comes down to exercise. You will feel great. You will feel amazing. But that first session always sucks. And I'll tell you what sucks even more, the week after the first session, because you've just used muscles that has never been used for a very long time. So you are going to feel sore. You're going to feel very sore. You're going to feel heavy. You're going to feel like you can't do it. There's going to be so much running through your mind. And that's why it's important for us to know you are coming back to see us, so we can tell you, yes, you can. Because what happens is you do one free trial, you do a trial, you hate it, it's stiff, you're horrible, you're stiff for a week afterwards, you've got no reason to come back, so you've got no one saying to you, hey, it's okay, I know you feel stiff, you're going to get through this, and I promise you it's going to get easier, you just need to keep showing up. Because then by week 2, guess what? You're not stiff anymore. You've made a friend, you actually enjoy it, you love turning up. And this is the same with therapy, with meditation. The first session of therapy, if you've ever had therapy, if you haven't, get fucking ready. It is the most transformational experience you will ever go through. But it will suck. It will suck so bad, especially that first session. You will want to scream, cry. The first session I had for therapy many years ago, it was around 2013. I remember, and I'm not a violent person before I say this, I remember wanting to stand up from my seat, go across the room and strangle the therapist. Sorry, disclaimer, I didn't genuinely want to strangle her. But I wanted to, I was so mad, I could have screamed and shouted in her face and pushed her out. I felt so much anger towards her because she was holding up this big fat mirror and showing me something that I clearly had been blocking and didn't want to see. And I had to sit with this complete discomfort. And I'll tell you what she did. It was silence. I had to sit in silence. I wasn't allowed to fill the silence. She wasn't answering anything I was saying. I was asking her questions and she was just being silent, and it made me mad because I just could not hold my own thoughts and sit in silence. And it highlighted some deep wounding in me that I felt the need to always fill the void. I felt the need to always create the noise. And when she sat there in silence, whoo, let me tell you, like the fact that I went back, I'm really proud of myself, and I continued to go for many years, and I still would have therapy now. I think everyone should be seeing a therapist at least once a month. And wow, that session was the worst, but the most transformational probably of my life. And that's why, because imagine if I wasn't booked in for another session with her, like I'd prepaid, I wouldn't have gone back. And I'd have just been like, therapy sucks. Fuck that. I'm not going back. That was awful. I wanted to punch her. No, why would I do that? But I had to. One, because I'd paid, so I wasn't going to give up on it. And two, because a part of me knew maybe there's a reason why you didn't enjoy it. And then I got to go back, and then I got to unpick it, and I got to learn, and I got to grow, and I got to transform. But had I not been booked in for that next session, I wouldn't have gone back, and I would never know. And then I'd be on a podcast now. Probably wouldn't be even on a podcast. Who knows? I might be dead. I might be doing something, living somewhere else, living in a different reality, not living this life, and probably still very angry, probably still got an attitude, all because I didn't book a second session to go back after something made me feel deeply uncomfortable. So if I hadn't gone and experienced that discomfort, things would be so much different for me. And I don't believe they would be better. I believe I would still be living in the closed off, eating disordered, crazy functioning, weird, angry girl that I was versus who I am now, which is, if you don't know me, the complete opposite of that, even if I do say so myself. And that is why it is so important. So important. I can literally see what is going through a woman's mind when they come, for example, to empower her for a first session, right? First of all, they normally turn up late. They either can't find it, they've panicked, they've left the house late, they've misjudged the timing, they misjudged the traffic. Sometimes they've just sat in the car for 15 minutes before they've been able to manage to drag themselves out the car because they're that nervous. So they arrive a little bit flustered, a little bit late. There's loads of people around. They're not sure what's going on. They're really anxious, really nervous. They definitely can't relax. They can't hear anything the instructor's saying to them, the coach is saying to them, because they're that nervous. All they're thinking about is, what do I look like? Are people laughing at me? And am I going to be okay? Oh my God, what the hell am I doing? All this is going through their head. They are not focusing. And imagine if that was just one session. If they were just doing one session, they turn up, they feel like that, they feel like absolute awful. All they're going to do for that session, because of how awful it will feel, like I've said, they're just going to find proof why it's not for them. They're going to be like, I don't like the workout, I can't do it, I don't fit in. Well, I can't lift the weights. Oh, it's too much cardio, it's too much weights. The class is too quiet, the class is too busy, I don't like the coach, I don't fit in. Any other excuse your brain will throw up. So essentially, like, a free trial is actually an exercise for your nervous system to find proof that you can't do it. That is what happens when you say you're going to do one session. You're just going, okay, my little nervous system, we know it's going to be a bit uncomfortable. So what we'll do is we'll say we're doing it once. And then we can just go and we can just find loads of reasons why this is not the place, or why we shouldn't be doing this, or why we can't continue doing this. And the other thing is that the amount of people that get something free, like, it's an actual statistic, I looked this up, like, free stuff has an 80% no-show rate. So something that you're getting for free, and I know it, I've been given a free ticket for something tonight that a lot of people are paying to go, and I am going to go, but I can't be bothered. I'm not going to lie. Well, had I paid for it, I would be reacting completely different. I've paid for this. I may be feeling a bit tired, but I'm going to get my ass out. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to get showered. I'm going to go out. But because it's free, it's nothing lost. Doesn't matter. But it does matter. It does matter. And it matters that you understand that your first session of everything is just going to be your worst. Then the hardest, the most awkward, the most painful. But you have to remember that it's the first of many, and it's going to get easier. And there'll still be days you don't like it. There'll still be days you don't want to turn up. There'll still be days that it sucks. But you will be invested in knowing you're giving it a real go. When you invest in, okay, I'm going to give this 6 months. Like, what would happen if there was all those habits that you've said you're going to do? If you were just like, look, As shit as it is, as much as I can't be asked, what if I gave it 6 months instead of one day or instead of 1 week? What if I just tried this, getting up and going for a walk before work? As much as I don't want to do it, what if I just gave it 6 months? What would happen? How much different would I feel? How much better would I feel? What if this meditation, even if I'm just like, oh, I just don't want to do it, I just find it really uncomfortable. What if I gave it 6 months? We're in such a fast-paced society that we are, it's not a joke, we are actually conditioned and learning through social media, through reels, through all the things and how fast it moves, to just keep moving on, keep being quick, keep consuming, don't stay where you are, keep moving. No, you've got to give things time. You've got to watch the video to the end, or you're not going to learn the point. You've got to commit to the new habit for a long time, or you're not going to learn the point. This is why it is literally one of the best things you can do for your body is to just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to give it my best shot. I know it's going to suck. I'm going to give it my best shot. And yeah, this does lead to what I was saying about why we don't offer free trials, is for all those reasons. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. We, or myself as a coach, I am doing you a disservice by giving you one session. And I made this mistake recently. I never do one-off sessions with people I do not know. Okay, it's a member of Empower Her, or a personal training client I've had in before, or a coaching client I've had before, and they say, hey, can I book in for a one-off session? I'll probably say, yeah, you need 2, maybe 1 or 2, but I will let them do it. However, if it's someone I've never met before and they say, I just want to come and do one session, no, absolutely not. No, I cannot serve you. I cannot help you for you coming to see me for one session. And for goodness knows why, moment of madness recently, I did it. Someone I'd never met, I agreed to do one session for them. And it doesn't work. I can't do anything in one session. I can't. I would love to, but I can't. All I can do in one session is learn a little bit about you, a little bit about where you're at, a little bit about what you really need, because you'll tell me you need one thing, but I know you need another. You'll tell me that you're wanting to lose weight, but I know that you're really needing to learn to love yourself, and you're really needing to learn to give yourself some discipline around your diet so that you can lose weight. I know that just from you saying to me, I want to lose weight. And I get to learn a bit of that in the first session. And then I get to plan around how we're going to move forward, and how I can then work out from that one session what type of support you need, what type of person you are, what kind of exercise plan you need, so that I can support you in the other 24 hours outside of that session, in the next 5, 6, 7 days outside that session, until we lead up to your next session. And then we can start building. And I say this to my clients all the time. Not a lot's going to happen in session 1, 2, or 3. Not a lot. I'm just getting to know you. You're just getting to know me. I'm just starting to tweak things to see where we're at, what you need, because you're an individual. You're not the same person as the last person I had. And I don't do that. I don't just give out one plan. Some personal trainers do. They're happy doing that. If that's what you want, go see them. They'll give you a carbon copy. That's not a problem. That's not what I do. And that's not what we do at Empower Her. We want you to come through the doors, and we want to meet you where you're at, get to know you a little bit over the next few days, a few sessions, a few weeks, so we can really lock in and help you. And the only way we can do that is when we say to you, hey, if you give us your time and you commit to us, we will commit to show up for you. All you need to do is give it some time. You've got to trust us that you need to be coming in. And your first session, we're like, what's your next session booked? We always want to know when you're coming next. And after that first session, we always check in. And the amount of ladies that come to their first session, they may have a second session booked, and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so stiff, I can't come. Fine, don't worry, cancel off, get to the next one. And that's fine, because they may be super sore, but because they know that they've got another session, it might be a week later, and we've got us check it in, they show up. Whereas if they didn't, they wouldn't show up. They'd be like, I'm too stiff. Don't want to experience that again. Because if you've had stiff legs before, you'll know how awful it is. It really can be, but it gets easier, and you'll only know that it gets easier, and you'll only know that all those people that have said to you, don't worry, it'll be all right, first few sessions are horrible, your legs will be so stiff. You'll only know that when you try it, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, those people were right. They weren't lying to me. And I hope, honestly, that this has sparked something in you where you'll recognize patterns where perhaps you've not shown up for yourself fully, and you're not really doing something. And like I said, this is lessons learned from me. I had someone recently that moment of madness, did one session with her. Why? I don't know. I couldn't help her in that session. Yeah, she'll have learned a little bit from me. I taught her a little bit about lifting, very small amount in my 15 years of experience as a coach. She got to learn a tiny amount from me compared to what I'd be able to if she'd committed to 3-6 months, or if I'd showed up and made her commit to those 3-6 months. And that's why what the difference is between a good coach and a bad coach. Personally, a good coach will want you to be committed to 3 to 6 to 12 months. Another coach who's just, no, you can just do 1 or 2 sessions, no problem. Sorry, they're just taking your money. That's just what they want. They don't, because they can't help you. They cannot help you in 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions. They can't. So if you're going to see a coach who's quite happy for you to just be a little bit like, yeah, just come when you want, they don't really care. They're not really fully in it because they're saying, it's all right, just come up and take, because you're committed, they're committed. If you're showing up and saying, I'm having one-to-one, I'm coaching with you, Victoria, for 6 months, you know that I'm committed for 6 months. I know you're committed. We know that we're both committed and we both have to be committed. Whereas if I'm just like, yeah, it's all right, just come when you want. Am I committed behind the scenes to thinking about what you're doing? Probably not, because I don't know if you're turning up, and am I really that bothered if I'm not asking? So it's about really as well is with coaches and with coaches out there is looking for people that are looking for commitment. It's not a bad thing. 6 months. It's not a long time in your life. It's not a long time. And I've never ever, any coach out there who, is honest and transparent, I've never heard of someone starting with a coach and really hating it to the point where they needed to leave. I'm not talking just about me, about any coach out there. Because there'll be a reason that you felt drawn to signing up with that coach. There'll be a reason. You'll have felt drawn to their energy. You'll have followed them on social media. There'll be something about that coach, the reason you've signed up. And then you'll start your coaching. And there may be days where you're like, is it really working what they're telling me to do? Is this? But if you're going all in and you can have an open conversation with that person, then it's very rarely the coach. In my experience, I've never experienced it be the coach. I'm sure there is coaches out there that perhaps aren't doing the best, but you've picked that person for a reason. So there is something, even if the result you're getting from that person isn't exactly what you wanted, you're still getting something from them. You're still learning something. Perhaps you haven't hit the weight loss goal that you thought you'd hit with them. No, but you've maybe learned. Maybe you've learned that you're a quitter. Maybe you've learned about diet. Maybe you've learned about squatting. Maybe you've learned about that. You'll have learned something from your time with that coach. So it's never about the coach. And if you're just the type of person that just wants to quit and you're like, what if I sign up with someone and they're not right? They're not going to not be right. Not if they've been doing it for 12 goddamn years, 15 years, 10 years. There's a reason that they've got a business because they're obviously doing something right. If someone was a really bad coach, they wouldn't be a coach because they wouldn't have a business because they wouldn't get custom. The biggest source of custom for any small business, especially for coaches, is referrals. The referrals. You can post on social media, but people will still look on social media for social proof and referrals. They'll look for videos on our social media and are the women smiling? Do they look happy? Are the classes busy? This is all proof that it works. And the same for a coach. So unless you're signing up with a coach who's been a coach for a week and has no social proof, there could be the time that it may not be the coach for you, but everyone starts somewhere is what I would say. But very rarely are you going to sign up with a coach, sign up at a gym, sign up with a community, sign up for a class where they've been doing it for a long time and have a bad experience because of something they've done. It's just never going to be that. It's always going to be, it's always going to be that something that you're expecting and not getting from yourself, and it's not about the coach. So this is why I say to people, you don't need to try something out. You need to just go full hog and trust that something inside you has said, this is where I want to sign up, this is what I want to do, and this person's going to help me. And you will always get something. You may not get, like I said, everything that you thought you'd get from it. It may be a different experience. You may get different results, but life will happen and you will learn something from everyone. I believe there is, without a shadow of a doubt, we meet and cross paths with people for a reason. There's never a reason that we don't. We always cross paths with people because there's a reason. We've got something to learn from them, a lesson to learn from them, and something to pick up and really, get from that person. There's a reason you're always crossing their path. So if this has stirred something inside you and it's made you want to commit to something, let me know. What is it making you want to commit to? Is it a habit? Is it a new experience? Is it a new club? Is it a new gym? Shameless plug. We are taking on ladies at Empower Health and Fitness. If you're ready to go in case you didn't get it from this podcast, we do not offer free trials. We don't need to. We want you to just come as you are, and we give us 100%, and we'll give you 120. And you're not broken. You're just living in a world where then people aren't getting you to commit to yourself, and you've been given a get out of jail free card to back out of anything that you want to do. And in my experience as a coach, we don't need that. We need someone saying, no, you're not backing out. This is what you said you want to do, and I'm going to give you a bit of tough love, and I'm going to hold a mirror up here, and you need to commit. This is what you said you were going to do. And that is really important. I've had coaches in the past that have not, I've tried to back out and haven't had that stand to say to me, no, what you're doing, and we need it. So this is me saying to you, don't back out. You need it. If you're thinking about it, you need it. So you need to give it some time. You need to. And the breakthrough doesn't come from trying any harder. It comes from staying longer and from being committed. And it's fine to take up space before you feel ready. And it's fine to think about it, but don't think about it too long, because you just need to get going and give it a go, and give it 6 months, give it 12 months, give it 2 years, give it 3 years. Stop giving things one chance, like one fucking chance. No, nothing is going to change from giving it one chance. How much different would you be if you just committed to something for longer? And this is with me. When I stopped dabbling in different ways with everything I do and just committed, like I saw leaps and bounds changes. And this comes back to what I was saying about social media. I can go on and off with it. Do I want to post? Probably not. Can I be asked to make a reel? It does take a lot of time up. And I didn't quit. I've kept going. I've just kept posting, tried to be consistent with it. Yes, there's periods of time when I'm away. And the other week I posted a reel, thought, logging off Instagram for a week, I need some downtime. The reel went viral. I logged back in and I gained 3,000 followers of women, of people that I want to be in front of. And that's because I just stayed committed. And I knew that there was going to be a breakthrough as long as I just stayed consistent to it. And that story there can tie into anything with your health, not just with business, not just with social media, but from just fully committing and showing up to yourself and not quitting when it got tough, not quitting at the first hurdle, not quitting because this is too difficult, from fully going all in and knowing and accepting that it will be hard. There'll be times that it'll suck. There'll be times you don't want to do it. And there'll be times that you'll tell yourself that you can't. And you've just got to keep going. Keep moving forward. Keep loving yourself anyway. Keep holding yourself anyway. And keep being you. And keep showing up. And keep looking for the light when there is darkness. And really seeing that you are a guiding light. And when you fully show up, you really will shine. And you'll encourage other people to do the same too. You'll encourage other people to show up and shine as well. That's my wish for you, is to commit for something. And remember what I said, if you're looking for a coach and they don't want you to commit, ask yourself why. Why don't they? If you're looking for a community and they don't want you to commit, ask yourself why. And look for the ones that do, because then they're fully committed as well. So peace and love. I hope you have a blessed day. And remember, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a friend. Send it in an email to someone who needs to hear it. And I always answer all my messages. If you want to DM me on Instagram, have a chat, let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in to Wild, Hot and Healing. If today stirred something in you, I'd love it if you subscribed, left a review, or shared it with someone who really needs this energy right now. And if you're ready to go deeper into your body, your strength and your healing, you can find out more about my wellness community, Empower Her Health and Fitness, and how to work with me at my website. You can also join my email list for rituals, resources, and podcast extras that I don't share anywhere else. All the links are waiting for you in the show notes. So until next time, stay wild, stay hot,